Hello again. There's another question and answers video because the first one was very popular and yeah, it seemed to be quite successful. And I think this is an easier way to talk about work and stuff to everyone that want to know more things. So yes, I've got some questions and they're pretty good. So hopefully these will answer all your inquiries. Anyway, let's begin. Favorite pizza topping? It's pepperoni. How boring and basic, but yeah, that's the only one I really like. I mean, whenever I have a takeaway pizza, I usually have a meat feast. Something with loads of stuff on it. Very bad. Heart attack in a box, that's what I like. And it's the only time I really eat ham. Other than that, I don't really like ham. It just seems weird. It just looks like skin of a pig's ass. But yeah, I think that's my favourite topping is pepperoni. I do. I mean, funny with other stuff, but food's a funny old thing with me. I'm so stubborn with it. But, pizza. Oh, yes. Oh, the food of Tumblr. How often do you get into art blocks, if ever, and how do you get out of them? Also, hello. Well, hello! I get into them more recently now than when I was just younger and a student. I think it's just hard because the more you work, you tend to have a fear of hitting a wall and stopping. You think like you've done all what you can. So you just try to stay away from that as much as you can to stay out of art blocks, because once you get in them, they're really hard to get out of. And I think if you get into any of them, you just need to stop. You just need to stop and think, right, what can I do that's different? Because usually I find art blocks are areas where you're doing the work and you're getting bored. You'll become naturally bored of what subject matter you're doing, so I just tend to do something differently. That's why I draw differently quite a lot of times. Like when I draw the ink drawings of like the Tim and Eric stuff, or when I did my Beyonce drawings, they're different than when I've done my Simpson stuff. And just recently, like the detailed um, one just now, where see it's just different. And I think you have to push yourself to certain extents where you get out of art blocks, because the longer you're in them, the harder it is to get out of. So I do get in them quite a lot now, but I still try and fight, and that only makes you better. That really does. I think that kind of makes you improve as a person, because you tend to think you can make art all the time and it's all brilliant and excuse me and la di da, but it's not, because you're gonna make shit and you just have to get out of it. So yeah. What is your favourite Studio Ghibli movie? Well, my favourite one is Porco Rosso, because that's the very first one I've seen when I was younger, and I loved it because it was just amazing to see like the detail of the planes and the kind of constructions of Porco Rosso's massive red plane, and it was just cool to see, just to kind of see the detail of the women, the workers, and that level of detail and storytelling I like in all the films. They're fun. They're fun to watch, and you can kind of get lost into them. You can, and I really like that. I'd like to buy them all, but I've only got like 5, I think. But I think Porco Rosso is my favourite ones out of them all, I think. Because it's simple. It's simply done, and it's just nice. It's just a nice film. So yeah. How do you push yourself to get out of your comfort zone, and do you ever feel the need to use other media to create work? Yeah, I think you need to kind of use other different mediums and just different things to do to kind of make different work, because as I said, like the second question, it's about improving, and you don't want to become a one-trick pony, because that's really easy to do. And I've been accused of that in the past, and I was starting to work out just doing the same things. I mean, a lot of my work now, you can say it's kind of similar to some extent, where it's just figures, the kind of like fashion figures. There's usually like tits, and dicks, and vaginas and stuff. But I don't know. I think you just have to try new things. I mean, like I found one of my old sketchbooks, and the different media that I used was just tracing papers and stuff to kind of just make new work and new images to see how that worked. And they were just the basis of ideas to make paintings, but they developed more as drawings. And when I did like the contour drawings, the blind ones, like that one, it's just different ways. It's just different methods to do some new stuff, and it's just refreshing, and it gets you out of art blocks. It really does. I mean, to do something very different is exhilarating, and it's just fun. It's fun because it's easy to make the same work, and you get in that bubble, in that comfort zone, and sometimes the bubble just stays. It stays the same. You're doing the same old shit. But if you break out the bubble from time to time and do new things like painting or photography or film, and then you bring that in, the bubble gets bigger and your comfort zone gets wider, and it's good. It's a good thing to kind of have because you need that. You need to try loads of different things, and by doing that, you tend to find the one thing that you like, and the one thing that is your voice to make work. Like for instance, I did so much stuff, but it took me a long time to figure out that drawing was my thing, and it's good to know that now. But I'm willing to try anything else. I think you just have to push the way I push myself out of my comfort zone is by doing things that are far different, and just things that kind of make me explore more, like drawing clothes. I really like drawing clothes and women's shoes, like high heel shoes, and they're just something different from time to time, and you need that. I think it's fun. As I said before, it's fun to do. I mean, it's easy to be scared, and you shouldn't be scared when you're making work. That's the thing. It's about you at first, and you have to be brave enough to do that, because I think the one of the fun things about doing art and creating work is it's a self-portrait in all what you do, and no matter what it is you make, and people are going to judge you from that piece of work, and it can be soul destroying if you get criticism. But to break out of that comfort zone of, you just have to accept whatever you get, no matter what, no matter good or bad. You just have to think, alright, that's it, and keep working, because don't stop for no one, really. Yes. Here we go. What's this question? My first question got lost somewhere. Do you have any projects coming up? No, I think I've got a show coming up in London to do with like famous animal internet memes, or memes, or whatever you want to call it, like GIF. Oh, that whole debate. But yeah, I think that's a show coming up with that, and I'm just doing them now. If I can find them, but yeah, I mean, I'm just like keyboard cat, and just in crappy frames, but I like them. I think the frames are good. I've got that. I'm doing Battle Royale. That's another project that's taken such a long time. I realised how long that's going to take, but once it's done, it's done. But they're the only real projects I'm doing at the moment, and I'm doing random sketchbooks. Like I'll do like 5 on the go, and they're just projects myself, like drawing specific film scenarios, studies of art, old paintings, doing that. But that's it, really. You have to do a load to keep yourself going, rather than sticking to this one linear project. You explore. It's kind of like getting out your comfort zone again. It's funny how all these questions kind of link into one thing. But you broad out, and yeah, you do as many as you can. Yeah. Oh, and are you moving to Germany? Do you think it's a better place for artists than England? I would love to move to Germany. I really would. I mean, when I went in June, it was wonderful. It was just a nice change of scenario, and even the road signs I adored. I really liked, which is so stupid, but I like the diversity of it all. The thing is with England, it's changing a lot. It changes so much, and you get bored. You get bored of the same scenario. I mean, bored sometimes of the same landscape. So to go to somewhere different is great. And I went to an art show of my past degree for BA, and it was the year 2s, I believe, or year 3s. I don't know what. I think year 3s. And I met the tutor there who told me to do illustration, and I was talking to him about Germany. and he said it's the best place to go for inspiration, and he's right. I mean, when I was there I felt so much inclined to do so much work, and I was inspired. And when I came back, I kind of did a lot of work, and I just felt new. I felt like a new person, and sometimes you go in life trying to figure out where it is you want to be and where your place is in life in this world. And to me, even though I was only there for a couple of days, and I'm going back there again soon in about 2 weeks' time, it felt right. And I always say, if something feels right, you fucking go for it and you do it. You've got to take it by the horns and go for it. Always go for the best. And Germany felt right for me. It just really did. So it's hard to say, because England, massive creative scene in London and all other places in England to go, like some parts of London, even up north, even kind of Birmingham way, Manchester way, even Newcastle was great. But I think you have to explore the whole kind of world if you can. It's easy to look at stuff online, at pictures, but to physically go to places is even better. Even because I always enjoy going to art galleries and seeing paintings. It values more than just seeing a photo on the computer. To see marks, and it's like that when I went to Germany, to see a difference in life. So yeah, I would love to move there. The sooner the better. But I'm moving in, hopefully in another 2 months, to get away from where I am now to a nice quieter place. So hopefully that can make better work. Yeah. How much has studying fine art influenced you as an illustrator? Would you recommend it instead of doing a degree in illustration? I think it did influence me. I think it influenced more with the theory side as to why I specifically do the certain subjects and why I do this. Because I think the fine art, for me, it was more about why I was making work, and the illustration side for my masters was more of what is the work, and fine art was why is it why. So I don't know. I think what I noticed was the fact that on my course there was loads of ex-fine art students, and it was interesting to see that, because when I was doing my BA, the kind of gap between fine art and design and graphics and illustration was so far apart, but now it's kind of like that, like Ross in Friends, but kind of just that close now. And this is good. I think it's great to see that. And there's mixtures of sculpture coming into illustration now, and I find that interesting. I think it's up to you, really. I never did an illustration degree for BA, and a part of me wishes that I kind of did, but my time in fine art was fun. You know, I kind of understood about me more. I understood more that I wasn't a fine artist, and I took a lot to kind of think about that. But excuse me, yeah, I think it helped me a lot more, because whenever I go to kind of galleries, I'm not interested in design or graphic design or graphic books or graphic design books. I'm interested in fine art. I'm interested in paintings, in Renaissance, in Caravaggio, in the Pre-Raphaelites, and paintings like that. I love looking at work, and I feel that helped me more as an illustrator than, yeah, it did. I think, yeah, if fine art is very intense, it's an intense ego kind of course, but it can be great. I think you just have to be really headstrong and just focus on your work, because that's what I did. I just thought, I'm making loads of work, and that's what I wanted to do, and I did, and it helped me understand who I was. So yeah, just also find the best one for you. So hopefully that can help. What inspired you to make a blog? When, if ever, do you feel that yours is successful? It is, by the way. Well, thank you. My friend told me about Tumblr, and that was about a couple of years ago. I think 2008 I made my blog, and yeah, it was just for fun. It was just, yeah, kind of before, when I was in education, the emphasis was to have a portfolio, like a proper kind of file. But now it seems more to have a website, to have a blog now, because everything's becoming more easily accessible through the internet. more digital, and I just use the blog just to upload my work, because what's the point in making work in your room and no one's seeing it? So yeah, I think I just made a blog to kind of show my work, because I was making so much. I just thought people need to see this, because my room's going to get flooded by paper and books. And yeah, I don't know when I kind of felt it was successful. I think it was when I got certain reblogs and being on the Tumblr radar. I think that was quite interesting. But I kind of felt like I made it when Liam Payne from One Direction reblogged my Wild at Heart drawing. I thought, well, that's quite cool. And yeah, I think that really helped. But it's weird. I don't really see success like that. I don't know what makes a successful blog, or like the followers you have, or whatever. I think as long as the work's pretty good, I think that's the thing. But yeah, I don't know. Even now, I just think I blogged my blog, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a blog, especially if you're an artist, especially if you want to start off one, and you have to really put a lot of belief into it, and not treat art blogs as your own art blog, as just like a second blog. It should be a main one. It should be your main thing, where you should believe in your work and think, yes, this is what I do. This is who I am. It shouldn't just be on the side. If you put as much dedication into it as anything, then it can be really successful. So yeah, well, thanks to my friend Rosie to make me get Tumblr, and here I am. Yeah. Final question, I think. Do you have goals for the business side of your art skills? Hello, Mum. Bye. Do I have any goals? Probably get more exposure, really. I think that'd be the thing. It's weird because the business side of things, I never really think about too much. I think it's just about making work. But I know you should really think about business side. So I think about more shops, like Society 6 and stuff. And yeah, I think it's just more about showing your work more out there. I think I just want to do more of that. I want to kind of get it out there more, and taking it each day as it comes, really, and developing more contacts, asking people for submissions and stuff, and competitions, and just that's one of the things I think you have to do as an illustrator, is to really look online and think, fucking hell, what have I got to do? I've got to find this. But it's usually more about who you know for a business side than what you know. And for me, I guess the goals for a business side is drawing stuff that's kind of relevant to now. Like as I said in the previous video about Grumpy Cat, as a business side, it did really well for sales and stuff, and I think you kind of have to find a niche in the market where this is good, do work based on that. It's like the amount of times I see Lady Gaga illustrations that go really popular online, and there's a business side. Like someone I saw a drawing of her face, and Lady Gaga herself used it for a background on Twitter, and I think that worked. And so you have to kind of think, as a business side, maybe that, yeah, you draw what's now, you do what's now as a business. You try to keep current with today's society, and that can maybe be a good thing. But thankfully, as a business side, I don't know, I think maybe I'll just try and work more on Photoshop. As before, I'm such a traditionalist, it's hard, but it's fun. But nope, I just keep on working. So I think that's all the questions now, and so thank you for them. Hopefully they've helped. And I'll probably do more in the future, so yeah, thanks for listening for 19 minutes. Auf Wiedersehen. Whoa, this is glitchy.